What's up, y'all? Welcome to wow, good start. Another episode of Shoe Booty Sports. This is episode 44, the Hank Aaron episode for you folks keeping up at home. This is Grandpa, your host, along with co-host Bradley Brown. Say
That's
hi,
me.
Bradley. There you go. And we'll give a quick plug to our sponsor. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. You can sign up there on the website, sign up for one or all 5 of the races, run them at your convenience, track them with your fitness app, screenshot your results, and submit them there on the website at rhinoraces.com. They also have a gear section. Check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Find Shoe Booty Sports. You can listen to us and watch us even on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, the Wisdom app. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at Shoe Booty Sports. So college football kind of started last week, this past Saturday. Week 0 is what they called it. Pretty odd name. Can't just call it, well, like, why not just call it opening weekend? Or, yeah, opening week. Week 0 just seems a little strange.
Yeah. It's got to count for something, right? You can't just have week 0.
Like when
But
you go on the when you go on the ESPN website or wherever you go to check the scores, yeah, they have like 1, but then the previous week it's 00. And it's like that on multiple websites. It's even like that on like the Arkansas statewide like high school score site. But that's weird because they actually had week 1 this Friday, so it didn't make any sense. But that's a whole other thing. So week 0, I watched a little bit of the games early on before I had to get out and go mow. The Nebraska Northwestern game looked like the best game, but for whatever reason, I couldn't stream the game. Did you check it out at all, or could you even stream it?
yeah, I watched a little bit. I think I watched the second and third quarter. I say that I didn't see the onside kick that everybody's talking about. I did not see that live. So I guess I had it on from, more for background noise than anything. But
That was pretty much the first game that I saw. I can't even remember who played. St. P, maybe?
Austin P.
Austin P. Like, I was
Yeah,
like, I don't even know if that's the right name. I just learned how to pronounce the name of the team that Florida State played. I think it was the next day following last week's podcast. Duquesne.
yeah, Duquesne.
Yeah, I did not know that was how you said it. Spelled pretty odd. But I imagine, surely I'm not the only one that
No,
did that. But Florida State looks great, against Duquesne from the highlights I saw,
as I should have, right?
as they should have, yes. But the actual week will start, it actually starts Thursday, right? Yeah, it goes from
Yeah.
Thursday to Monday. Really, the big games are all on Saturday, though. The Thursday and Friday games, nothing really sticks out. There's a couple of there's like a decent ACC matchup that I can't even remember who it was. I want to say West Virginia's involved. But the big games are Saturday. Of
Did you
course,
watch any of the Hawaii game?
I did
Hawaii
not.
Vandy?
I did not, but I saw the score.
Yeah, I seen it. It's just like the Nebraska game. I watched the first half. There's no way I was gonna be able to stay up and watch the rest of the game though. But yeah, I went to bed. It was, a close game. And woke up and seen the score and I was like, holy crap.
What did it end up being? Like 61-10 or something?
63 to something. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot to a little. But see, when you said it was just like the Nebraska game, I was like,
Well,
how?
I'm
Like, because it
saying
was
no, well,
close the
I'm
whole
saying for
way.
me because I stopped watching the Nebraska game around halftime too. So
Okay, well, that makes more sense. But no, I did not miss it. But that, I guess, the Vanderbilt coach makes his statement at SEC Media Day sounds a little better than it was. Still not better, but still not good, but obviously, but a little better than it was. And you guys can check out the archives for that, or give it a Google, see exactly what he said. Basically, saying Vanderbilt's going to be the premier program of the league one day, give or take.
yeah. One day
But
we'll
yeah,
be on Mars.
yeah, we probably yeah, who knows, man. But
Exactly.
your Alabamas of the world are playing some high school team this Saturday and things like that. The other powerhouses are in similar positions, but there are three big games that stood out to me on the schedule, all going to be Saturday games. The first two of which, our Arkansas Razorbacks hosting Cincinnati at 2:30 on ESPN2 Saturday.
I'll
Prediction,
be
real
there.
quick. Okay,
I'll be
awesome.
there.
But
Yeah. Um,
it's a 40-minute show, Brad. Prediction.
28-21 Hogs.
Okay, there you go. You didn't have to give a score. You could have just said who you think's going to win.
I
I'll
think
go
Hogs will cover the
Razorbacks
spread.
too. I'll go Razorbacks too. I don't know what the spread's going to be, but I'm just going to pick them to win
6.5.
the game. Yeah, I'll pick them to win it. Since we're doing scores, I'll go 35-27. How about that?
There you go.
The other one, Georgia, sort of playing host to Oregon, number 3 Georgia and number 11 Oregon. They're playing at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta, so essentially a home game for Georgia. I'm going to take Georgia in that one. I assume you will also.
Yes.
Have you seen Stetson's new haircut, by the way, that he got
No.
about a month ago? Yeah, it's full on. They showed a picture of him and like his team photo, like his individual photo, like in his suit and stuff with the hair, the shaggy hair, and one recently, and he's
Oh, where
got
it
on
has
like
the fade.
yes, and like the Biggie and Tupac like shirt or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
it's just like, yep, dog's gonna repeat. Like was the caption. So that's pretty dope. But I'll take Georgia in that. And the big one is Notre Dame at Ohio State. Six, of course, a primetime game, 6:30 on ABC. I will watch that for sure. How much of a shot do you give Notre Dame in this? Do they even keep it close, or is it Ohio State by a lot?
Probably Ohio State by like 10. At least a 2-possession game. I think they'll be able to keep it close.
I think it'll be more like a 48, 28 Ohio State. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Very well could be.
Like Notre Dame's recruiting class is looking good last I saw, even though they lost a couple last week, kind of highly ranked recruits, but they're still like number 5 in the rankings. That counts for something. It's still Notre Dame at the end of the day. They haven't won anything since 1988, but it's still Notre Dame. They still have some prestige to their name and a pride about them. I'll say that. I'll say 48-28 Ohio State. But those are the three that stand out to me. But that got me going down the YouTube rabbit hole looking for the best like entrances of college football, like the players coming out and the
Mm.
fans getting hyped up as they're coming out. And I just kind of thought of the most cool ones that stood out to me. Here's some, just naming them. Virginia Tech coming out to Enter Sandman, and like Clemson coming down the hill, touching Howard's Rock, getting together, and then coming down the hill. That's not even really like a music thing. That's just but the fans still get super hyped for that. South Carolina, going back to the music thing, South Carolina and Sandstorm before kickoff, waving the white towels and just getting rowdy as that happens. That's pretty dope. Wisconsin's jump around, Penn State coming out to Phil Collins in the air tonight. That one's hard not to get hyped up for. I don't see how you don't get hyped. How you could not. You don't have a pulse if you can't get hyped up coming out to that
Yeah.
and that type of crowd. But is there a better one than Tech coming out to Enter Sandman though? Like that to me is the coolest one.
Yeah. I think it's definitely the hardest song to come out to, of course. I don't
And the
know.
and the stadium is just rocking and there's fireworks going off. And then when they just hit the main part of the song, they come running out. Like, yeah, dude, that you can't beat that.
Who's in second place?
I don't know, man. Like the Penn State coming out to end the air tonight, that's a good one. Like
Yeah, I'd
that's
say that would
dope.
be number 2 for me.
South Carolina's Sandstorm is underrated. Like that's
It's an
I
annoying song though.
but it's a cool scene. Like it's a cool
It's-
scene. It kind of is, but it's cool to see them. I mean, just the fans make it cool. But you're right to you're right. But I still think it's an underrated like entrance. Like what's Arkansas's? Like I haven't been to a game in a
they they run through the A formed by the band
yeah.
on like
It's
on the I don't know. They play some type of music.
yeah. Now when we were students there, like when we were both students there, and I'd go to games regularly, they'd have some like highlights on the video board with like Paul Eels, legendary, play caller for Arkansas, touchdown Arkansas, and of course the fans would get hyped for that. But then it would just be some kind of music like you said, and then
Some
like
fireworks.
yeah, and the opponent's like helmet like on the big board, like placed at midfield, and these like animated Razorbacks coming and crashing into it. And then the smoke comes out, and then the gate opens, and then the team runs out. It's pretty cool. Nothing like iconic or anything like that, but it's all right. It's not a bad way to come out. But my favorite one, definitely Virginia Tech busting out the Enter Sandman. Like that's my favorite. And I've not been to an Auburn game, but apparently Auburn does something cool with the Eagle.
Yeah, that's
Well, describe it
yeah.
because I
I don't
haven't
think
seen
they
it.
come out to it, but yeah, that's one of the things they do before the game. They let the eagle soar around the crowd. I mean, they're doing doing their chant. I guess it's just they're saying a war, but really long. And then the freaking eagle, it's flying over everybody. And then I guess the trainer throws out its like toy mouse or something on the 50-yard line, and that eagle sees it and swoops down and lands on the logo center field. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Like I've heard it described before. That doesn't it circle like the entire stadium, pretty
Yes.
much. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Oh yeah, it circles it, usually more than once.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But coming out to some hype music, like that's hard to beat, man. Like yes, that's cool and all, like the Eagle thing. But yeah, coming out to some super hype music, that's dope. I like that. I would be hyped just sitting there in the tunnel, like could not wait to come out. If we were rolling out to that to come play. But yeah, so Virginia Tech sounds like number one in our book. Did you
I
nod or say yes?
Yeah, I can go with that since Auburn went on the list. But yeah,
Well, you picked your own.
well,
I just
I
named a
thought
few.
they don't really enter out to that, so that's just a pregame ritual.
It counts. It's all the same.
Oh
Like
well, yeah, that
it's
one
all the
would be
same.
since I've witnessed it. That one's on top for me.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be if you're there and you experience it. You're probably sitting there like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like
Oh, you're saying this is effing badass.
exactly. Yeah. Like yeah, that's pretty dope. If I were there, I'd say the same thing. I get it. So sticking with football and jumping to pro football real quick. Baker Mayfield had a very Baker Mayfield comment a day or two ago. This is Tuesday, by the way, August 30th, almost to September, thankfully. But he said, "I'm going to f them up." Talking about his comments about facing the Browns in Week 1. It's a very very Baker Mayfield comment. I loved it. I
I
just
love it
loved that
too.
it's Baker being Baker and not not disguising it, not coming out saying we're just all going to go out and we're going to play as a team, we're going to win as a team. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about this team. And so I know it's just another game, just another game. Screw all that, man. Like, tell us what you're really thinking. And he did, and he did, and I loved it. You know, and we'll get a
I hope he
healthier
does.
version. Yeah, well, I know, and that's the other thing. Like, I hope he does. I hope he just comes out and just lights them up. That
Haven't seen the spread on that game yet, but that one might be a fun game to throw $20 on.
it's gonna be a fun game to watch, even though Deshaun's not playing. You know, it might be even more fun since Deshaun's not playing because they're not going to be as good. So Baker may very well light them up. I mean, that's of course that has nothing to do with the defense, but if they
Yeah.
win the game, it obviously matters. So, yeah, Baker's comments, very Baker Mayfield, and dude's just doubling down on being who he is, you know. But I just love the honesty in this very media coach, PC. Uh, I don't know how to say it. Like,
Soft.
yeah, well, just what they're taught to, how they're taught to answer these questions is what I'm trying to get at. Just go out there, don't say anything
Don't offend. Yeah.
interesting. Well, and it's like Bull Durham. It's like Crash Davis, you know, coaching up gosh, why can't I think of his name? Uh Tall guy actor, Shawshank Redemption,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but
Tim something. Tim something.
Tim Robbins.
There you go. All right. Took two brain. Tim, I think that's right. Tim Robbins. Is that right? I'm gonna Google
Sounds
it real
right.
quick. It sounds right, but we're gonna fact check real quick. I'm gonna
Yeah, it's him.
so it is him? Or are you
Yeah,
just
I'm
certain now?
99% sure.
All right, we'll double check. Yep, Tim Robbins, that's it. I would not have thought of Robbins. I knew it, but haven't had to say that name in a while. But it's like when he's media coaching him and he says this is all boring. He's like, yeah, that's the point. And you don't say anything interesting. Don't give him something to go on. But I like Baker coming out and saying what he thinks. It gives us something to talk about for one. But two, if we didn't have this show, I'd still think it was great. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this makes the game even more interesting. This is going to be fun. Because when else will the Browns and Panthers be must see type of TV? You know.
Yeah, who knows about that one?
But like you said, I hope he does it. I look forward to seeing it. Be here before we know it.
Yeah.
That starts the week after next, right? Or the week after this one. Not
Yeah,
this
about
Sunday,
10
but the
days.
next.
Yeah, somewhere
Uh,
around there.
we're getting
It's
close.
close. Yeah.
All right, and so going to another quarterback, the Green Bay Packers quarterback. He was on the Joe Rogan Experience this past week, and I finished it up today because it's a 3-hour show. You know, I finished it up today. I had like 9 minutes left when I got home, and I watched most of it last night, and just kind of took the night easy last night and watched most of it, listened to it on the way to work, and then came home and watched the last 9.5 minutes of it. And I came away from it with a better understanding of Aaron Rodgers, a more like this is a more likable guy than he's portrayed in the media and things like that. He's still he doesn't come off as much of a weirdo if you actually like listen to him. Like I had known this about the vaccine, but I'd forgotten it that he was allergic to something like an ingredient in the vaccine, so that's why he didn't get it. And he technically did not lie. He's like, I didn't lie when I was asked about whether when I was asked about it, saying he'd been immunized, famously now. But he did. He was like, I was just waiting for the follow up, and they didn't ask it, so I didn't bother. And he's like, everybody in the facility knew I was not vaccinated because you had to have like a yellow wristband if you weren't. I understood where he was coming from. At the same time, you got to know that you misled them, and you knew that it would come back to bite you if you did get COVID, etc. And he expressed that to an extent, but I came away from it with the he came off as definitely more likable than portrayed as like in the media. Of course, the media will do that with everybody. They'll kind of spin their own narrative on it and project their views onto you, and therefore in turn changes your opinion of them because you don't know them. But you get to know Aaron Rodgers in this podcast, and he comes off as a pretty likable dude. And they didn't just talk football, and that's what was fun to me. They talked about everything, and it was a check it out if you haven't seen it. Very interesting podcast. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers just came off as a cool freaking dude, man. Like I dug it. I'm guessing you haven't seen any of it.
I have not seen or listened to any of it, so might work that in the rest of this week.
Well, I like Joe Rogan's show. He has a lot of a variety of guests on there, so I don't listen to every one because it's a long podcast. But the ones I see that I do like the comedian you like, Tom Segura, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on there a few times. There's a lot of there's a lot of cool people that go on there. It's the biggest podcast in the world, so of course he's going to be able to get that. But it's definitely interesting. Check it out. You kind of come away with a better understanding of Aaron Rodgers and where he's coming from, and yeah, not just what you see and hear in sports media. You actually get like his side of it. So it's just two dudes shooting the shit. It's not they're just talking. It's not these questions that you hear every day in the sports media world, and Aaron Rodgers has been kind of sort of trained to answer it a certain way. But then again, Aaron Rodgers has always kind of told you what he thought, even if he's filtering it a little bit. He's never been one to really kind of. It's like he's been media coach, but he's still going to kind of say it without saying necessarily the wrong thing. But he's still going to tell you exactly what he wants to say, if that makes any sense at all. It's like he figures out what he wants to say and says it, but to where it's not rubbing the brass the wrong way or anything like that, at least not necessarily. But on this, he just on this episode, he just tells you what he thinks, and I appreciate that. Jumping to basketball and other news, Patrick Beverly has signed with the Lakers. In other words, surely Russell Westbrook will not be on the team by the start of the season in
You
late
would think
October.
so. You would think.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, what are the chances Russ is a Laker by the start of the season?
I don't know. 50% chance. Either he is or he isn't. No, I'd say like 25% chance.
That yeah, okay,
Yeah, that he's not with, or that he is with the Lakers.
that he is with the Lakers. Okay, yeah, 25% he's with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he will. I'll just answer the question better than I asked it. I think I'm going to essentially say the same thing. I think there is a 75% chance he is not on the Lakers at the start of the season. I hear they're trying to work a 3-team deal and get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, the Lakers, that is. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. It's what they should have done originally, and at least they're realizing it, better late than never. But what do you think of the signing of Pat Bev, by the way? He's he's
I
past his
mean, you
prime,
gotta,
obviously.
yeah, you still gotta like his attitude he brings. But
Any amount of defense that they bring to that team is for the better. Any
yeah,
amount. And this is a ruthless pit bull defender, even if he's not in his prime. So any amount of defense that they can bring to the table is a good thing. So I like this. If if I'm a Lakers fan, absolutely good move. Even better if they can ship off Westbrook and bring in somehow Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, whether it's a 3-team deal,
wasn't that a trade
whatever.
that was suggested by Twitter? What?
A lot. Possibly. I mean, Twitter suggests everything though,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
most of it doesn't make sense. But but pretty much anybody with sense could have told you that this wasn't going to work. The thing with Westbrook, but we're not going to get into that. We've touched up on that a lot.
Yeah.
We'll jump to baseball real quick. Quick update: the Dodgers still the best team in baseball. The Yankees are still kind of on their collapse. They don't have the best record in the league or American League anymore. The Houston Astros have taken that spot, but they're still first place in their division. AL East, right? Yeah. But yeah, Dodgers still the team to beat in baseball right now. 89-38 overall record, 8-2 in their last 10 games. My St. Louis Cardinals are now sitting comfortably at the top of the Central. They're 6 games ahead of Milwaukee. St. Louis 75-54 overall, 7-3 in their last 10 games. But the big news, Paul Goldschmidt, uh, the likely MVP of the National League. He is I don't know who would get it over him, but he is a triple crown threat. I don't know if you've seen his numbers, but he leads the National League in batting at 335 average. He's second in home runs at 33. I think he's 3 or 4 behind Kyle Schwarber, the home run hitting monster for Philadelphia now. And Goldschmidt is also tied for first in RBI with 105. So a serious triple crown threat in the National League. The last, you want to take a guess what year the last National League Triple Crown winner was? Just taking a guess.
92.
1992?
Sure.
It's been a little bit longer than that. Well, I thought I had it pulled up. I guess I want to, oh, nope, there it is. Oh, well, here in other news, Browns cut quarterback Josh Rosen after 1 month. So, yeah, the Josh Rosen experiment still going downhill. I think that was already news, but I hadn't heard about it. But
Yeah.
anyway, the last National League Triple Crown winner was Ducky Joe Medwick. Just based on the name, what year would you say? Clearly not 1992. Ducky Joe Medwick.
I don't know. Like 62?
A little further back, 1937.
Golly.
And he was also a St. Louis Cardinal. He led the league in, all 3 major categories. That year in 1937, he's a Hall of Famer, by the way, Joe Medwick. Got the nickname Ducky, I believe, because his walk looked like a duck waddle. So his teammates, kind of ripped on him a little bit for that, ribbed him a little bit, and then it just stuck. It was a nickname that stuck. But Medwick that year hit 374 with 31 home runs and 154 RBI. So solid numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many games are left in the in the regular season?
I don't know. I mean, we could do the math real quick, right? It's 162. So the Cardinals are what, 75-54.
Yeah.
So
129.
129. So 33 games left.
Sweet.
My math correct on that?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, if it's wrong, feel free to let us know on Twitter.
I thought I did good at 129. Then I quit.
Well, minus 162.
Hey.
Yeah, 33. That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
But
maybe Pujols will get to 700. 6 more to go.
it took him a while. He was at 693 this time last
Eh.
week, and he's at 694 now. So I don't know. We'll see. He's pushing it though. Looked like he was limping around the bases on that 694 home run. He has the record for the most hit off of number of pitchers. It's like 450 something, some insane number.
Yeah.
I think Bonds had it before that. In other news, sticking with Diamond Ball, we'll say that. Courtney Deifel got extended at Arkansas. Shout out to Coach Deifel. She's the GOAT of Razorback softball. Not even
Yeah,
close.
she put it on the map.
Yes, she did. Coach Deifel got a well-deserved raise. Deifel has led Arkansas to back-to-back SEC championships, including an SEC tournament championship this past year. I think back-to-back regional appearances as well. They were one win away from the Women's College World Series this past year. Lost to the eventual national runner-up, so Texas. So yeah, it was a hell of a season. Coach Deifel signed a 5-year extension that takes her through at least the 2027 season. It's an interesting contract, and we'll kind of look over it here. The extension, yeah, like I said, it takes her at least through 2027 as the head coach. She will be paid $450,000 annually, and that figure includes the $100,000 she will receive annually for speaking engagements, TV and radio appearances, and more, on top of the base salary of $350,000. Uh, Her previous contract, which she signed in 2018, was for a base salary of $275,000 plus $10,000 in additional compensation. She earned two $25,000 raises triggered by the Razorbacks NCAA tournament appearances. Under the new deal, she can receive up to two raises of $25,000 and will receive an automatic 1-year extension if the Razorbacks make the tournament. The contract can be extended up to 2 years, meaning she could be at Arkansas through 2030. Which, if she still wants to do it, they've only been trajecting upward. Now, when Oklahoma comes in the league and Texas too, that's going to make it harder because Big 12 softball can ball out,
Hmm.
and we saw that this year. And just Oklahoma's the Alabama, like what Alabama is to college football, they're that to softball. So they're going to be so really savor these SEC championships she's bringing, because it's going to be hard to get them. It's going to be a lot harder to get them from here on, but it's going to make them better heading into the postseason for sure. It's definitely a good thing for the Hogs and for the league. So much or well deserved extension by the GOAT of Razorback softball. She's already the winningest coach, and she's been there, what, 7 years, something like that.
I didn't know she had been there that long. But I was
Yeah,
thinking
I'm
more like
just
4 or 5 seasons. Hell, I don't know.
it's longer than that. I want to say, yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, you could be right. Maybe we're like 5 or 6 years, something like that. But either way, they knocked it out of the park. She's been an absolute home run hire. So good job getting that deal done. Whatever she's getting paid, well worth it. And did you have a fantasy draft?
I did.
All right, tell us how that went, because I'm
It,
waiting till as late as I can to join a league and then do my draft, because obviously somebody's going to get hurt and I'll probably draft them like before they get hurt, and then they'll get hurt. But yeah, so
yeah.
I'm waiting as
Well,
long as possible. But tell
that's
us.
usually how it goes, except for this league. My two other leagues, we do draft like the. We'll probably have one of the drafts like next Monday or something. And I know the the final draft is always going to be the Wednesday before Thursday night football. So, but my first draft this past weekend was a 14 team league draft.
Wow.
And
Okay.
man, it was interesting because it's also a keeper league, which, man, it's different. You can't really, it's tough to reject what your first couple of rounds are going to be just because you don't know who's keeping who and who decided to drop. And yeah, it's all wild. But according to ESPN, I had the number 2 team from the draft, which yeah, it's a little. I took some people probably a lot sooner than I should. Well, I wouldn't say a lot sooner, but I did take some gambles. QB, I have Mahomes. Running back, I have Montgomery. Wide receiver, was Diggs, who was also my keeper.
Is it Ty
Stephon
Montgomery?
Diggs. No,
Who-
David Montgomery,
Is that the Bear? Who is that? Can't even
Bears
remember.
running back.
Bears running back. That's right.
All right, then I have Stephon Diggs, and then I have Christian Kirk, Travis Kelsey, Singletary from Buffalo, the
Hold up.
Packers D.
Hold up. Hold up. Christian Kirk is with Jacksonville now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Continue.
All right, and then Kelsey, Singletary, Packers for the D, slapping the base for my kicker. And for my backup receivers are Lazard and Claypool and Marvin Jones Jr. I forgot I even picked him up. Backup tight end is Hurst. And backup running backs is, I guess, Jalen Williams and Harris from New England, Damian Harris. So my running back's a little thin, but everything else I'm feeling pretty confident about. So I think it's pretty good for, especially for a 14-team league.
So you drafted the Arkansas Razorbacks center in basketball.
Yes, that's exactly what I did. Jamal Williams, my bad. Dang,
Like,
get off my back. I just
I
seen
know,
Jay,
I know
dude.
it's a 14
I
team
know,
league, man, but like, damn, pickings were
I,
slim there in the late
hey,
rounds, weren't they?
hey, dude, he'll take a charge, man.
He will. He will. He can take a hit. We know that. Now, that waiver wire is going to be stupid thin.
It always is, man.
Oh, gosh.
This one's the league you want to win, though. It's the most money, and you get to
I
keep
would
the trophy
imagine.
for a year.
I would
But yeah,
imagine.
it's more
Who's in
people,
this
bigger
league?
buy-in.
Is it the one with Luke and them?
Yeah, Luke. Well, Luke's in 2 of my leagues, but this is through his old coworkers from K-Stack. So uh, there's only
I know.
like 3 of them. There's only like 3 of them that I know. Oh, I've hung out with more than like 3 times. So like the last 2 times I've been over there for the draft, yeah, it's like, hey, how's it going? And it's just face blindness. I'm just in the zone for the draft and drinking a couple beers, eating some food, and then I'm out. So
I mean, makes sense. So yeah, I guess I'll do mine, just a regular public league, and yeah, just from my computer and go from there. But it was okay, yeah. 14 team league, man. That's deep. A lot of teams. But yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it as late as I can and go from there. Probably just be a 10 team league. I I would hope so. I
I
don't
have,
know, 14
I
team
have a
league.
10 and a 12 team left. So
Okay. All right. So what, 3 leagues?
3 leagues, and then I get a daily fantasy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you have fun with that. We're not
it
going to
was
see.
it was brutal last year.
Yeah, we're not going to see
it
Brad when the season starts, y'all.
was
But
brutal.
enjoy it while we can. But we're going to get out of here. We're out of time. Check us out next week for episode 45, the Michael Jordan return in 1995 from retirement episode. Till then, deuces.